Okay, let's get started. I would not be spending quite a lot of time this time regarding the old sessions we talked. I hope you remember them, and then let's see some of the videos. I don't know if you got a chance to watch them, or should we watch them together? I don't know.
I think we should watch them together.
Okay,
I watched. If we can watch it together.
okay. So especially this one, we were talking about compounding, how the famous personalities in the history as well as in the past, in the present time, how they are using this compounding tool in order to get good at whatever they are doing. And let's see how Virat Kohli is using this tool, and in his own words, let's hear how he is.
Do I look the puja part types? uh, it surprises me because initially a lot about me was wrong. I have tattoos. I like to wear stylish clothes and whatnot. But see, one thing, as I said, it's very easy to focus on those things, but very difficult to improve your skills on a daily basis. Without
You understood he started talking about how to improve skills on daily basis. That's actually compounding that we talked. So let's see.
Without thinking about the result too much. Yeah. My basic thinking is if I'm going into a practice session, I want to learn something, I want to improve. I want to be an improved cricketer, even if it's by 0.1% after the end of each practice session. I
So that's the same thing we talked about, right? 0.01%. He's talking 0.1%. That's 10%. That's much later than what we talked. We talked about 1% improvement every day. That gives us 37 times increased over 1 year. So yeah.
I don't go in thinking I'm going to slog the ball today or there's no purpose to practice. You make sure you stack up your hard work every day, and then it pays off at some stage. There's no magic wand that I have that I'm just swinging it and I'm scoring runs. Everyone wants to do well. Everyone wants to score.
So you also touched upon, you don't look for the result. You just go and practice and improve little by little every day, and you just hope that one day it pays off. We also saw that when we looked at the compounding graph. I don't know if you remember this graph. We talked about how if you just save 1,000 kron, how it could become big amount. So initial years you don't see much result. Same way Kohli is saying, when you are going and practicing every day, you don't see the result immediately, but you would it would pay off in the long run, some point of time, because it compounds the practice he is doing every day.
Runs. It's about how much you believe that you can do it. I think is the major factor at the international level. And
And he also talked about he don't have any magic wand, right? So it's just hard work uh, that pays off in the long run. So, and we also saw in case of Messi, I don't have a video, but said that he did not got the success in one night. It's a hard work that's paid off over many years. So okay, so that's one video. Mm,
You go full screen. Hmm?
so let's see. Mm, so this I just want to remind you that we are talking about tools, and oh, I see somebody. Not on mute. Okay. So we talked about the tools and how these different tools are helped Shiva and Beam in their life, and we were talking about compounding. Okay, just to remind where we are in the overall big picture. And this week, I am aiming to introduce you the words assets and liabilities from the economics. This is coming from the domain called economics. But let's see, we'll try to understand what is asset, what is liabilities. Okay, and I have some practical thing for you, just to the activity for you based on the sessions we had previous weeks. For example, in session 2, we talked about rat race versus financial freedom. In your own words, I would like to see why you want to become financially free. You don't need to do it now. Just take this back home and try to, write it on a book or a Google Doc or Word, whatever it is. Just write it and see if you can share with the team here. Again, it's not forced. It's only if you are interested to share. I don't want to force anybody on this one.
Okay.
Yep.
Um, I didn't come to that class. I forgot there was class on that day, so I don't know anything about this.
Okay. So okay, this rat race and financial freedom. Okay.
Yeah.
A- And yeah, if you haven't come to the class, it's okay. If I think you can also see the sessions, and we could quickly cover if you any of you did not
Yeah.
participate in those sessions. And the second,
Also, can you also send from session one, like the Google slides from session one, because I don't think they are there.
You're on mute.
Uncle, yeah, somebody muted you.
I think you're muted.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So
Somebody's
Somebody.
muting you.
Yeah, somebody's muting you.
can you hear now?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's been muting you on purpose.
Okay.
I think there's like a setting where you can stop them from doing that. I don't know.
Okay. I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. I think somebody was asking if there are slides. So what I'm doing is I'm rotating the slides. So for example, old slides you can find from below. So slide one, session two. This is session two and session three. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just rotating them. So, for example, when we do next session 6, I would move session 5 slides to the end of the presentation, and then session 6 would come here. So it's going back up the slide deck. So you could always go back and refer. Okay.
Okay.
So mm, the second question you should also answer yourself, what you want to do after you become financially free, if you understand the financial freedom from the session 2. And how do you want to achieve the financial freedom? That's the third question. You could try to answer them. And how can who can help you to achieve the financial freedom? So these are the this is a practical activity I suggest you do personally for yourself. If you want to share with a team here, it's more than welcome. You can share with the team here. But this helps you to understand deeply for yourself why you want to achieve financial freedom, how you want to achieve, who can help you to achieve the financial freedom. So I think this is an important exercise one has to do in order to understand.
Someone muted you again.
Yeah.
Uncle,
Just make everybody attendee.
That just means we can't present, right?
uncle,
Yep.
you have to go to settings and then meeting options. Meeting options. And then it says allow attendees to unmute. No, there's like mute. Yeah, there, I think. And then
But we're all presenters right now.
Yeah, we're attending.
Someone muted you again.
Make everybody attendee.
We are attendees.
Now I think nobody can meet me. Can you hear me still? Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't see your screen. Okay. We can hear you.
I think when I made you attendee, I guess you can't hear me.
No, it's that
No.
we can't talk.
No, when you made us attendee, we cannot mute you. We cannot
Can't
mute
talk.
anyone.
talk and
But we
It's
also
just
can't talk.
Yeah, we can't talk.
Okay.
No, we can talk if you make us attendee, but there's another option when we're attendee to make us not talk. We can't talk. How am I talking if I'm an attendee?
No, no, I was changing the
Yeah.
Dude, be quiet.
uncle.
yeah.
It says allow attendees to unmute and then press yes and then you can make us attendees. So you have to press yes on the no and then it will turn yes. And then you can turn us into attendees so we can't mute you. And then
Hello. Yeah, I think let me try that one now.
now make make us attendee. Maybe it'll work. Yep, it works.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. Good. Let's go back here. So the next thing, I think we talked about these different tools used by different professions. I want you to do small observation or
We
consulting.
cannot see your screen.
Okay, you lost the screen.
I can see. Now I can't.
I can't.
Now I can see it.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So based on the session 3, we talked about the tools. I don't know if you remember, we talked about all the different tools that are used by different professions. So if you remember this slide, so the small activity that you can do is try to understand the tools, observe the all the tools used by different professions, try to list them, and also ask your parents or friends when they are going to job or cooking food at home, what are the different tools. Try to observe or ask the questions around people use around ask the questions around uh, people that you see, and find out what are the tools they are using. Again, you can write it and share with the team here if you want to share. That gives us the understanding of what are the tools, how the tools are used by different professions by observing the world around us. Okay, let's jump to this. Uh, I am introducing you to the one rule that we would use a lot in the finance world is called Rule 42, sorry, 72. So let me just go back here. I'm sure did anybody heard of this rule before?
No.
Okay,
I've heard it, but I don't know what it means.
okay.
can't see your screen anymore.
Yeah, I'm just switching to tablet now because I want to use the whiteboard. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah. So the rule 72 says uh, so the formula for the rule 72 is T equal to 72 by R, capital R. In this, T is time, okay? R is rate of return, okay? So for example, if somebody comes to you, hey, I will give you 10% return every year for a given money. So let's say you have let's say you have 1,000 crore, okay, and somebody comes and says that they will give 10% return every year for the 1,000 crore, okay. So what you can, using this formula, you can calculate how much time it takes uh, to using this formula. You can calculate how much time it takes to double the amount. So for example, now I know the rate is 10%, so I can do T equal to 72 by 10. What is 72 by 10?
7.2.
7 times 5. So that's a 7.2 years. So basically, if somebody offers you that, hey, you have 1,000 crore, give me that 1,000 crore, I'll give you 10% return. That means your money is doubling in 7.2 years.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
somebody. Okay. So let's say let's do the same again. Let's say somebody came and said instead of 10, I'll give you 20%. Okay, per annum. So 72 by 20, how much it will become?
14.4.
No, 7.2 by 2. Then if you do 3.6.
Oh, oh, I doubled. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get it.
3.6. So it takes 3.6 years to double the amount. So 1,000 crore. When I say double, what it means? 1,000 crore becomes 2,000 crore.
Mm.
Okay. So this is how we use compounding every day. So this is the best tool when you are investing your money and understand how this money can grow. Okay. So
Uncle.
yeah.
So every year, the money gets to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000.
Yes.
Okay, then I get it.
So let's say we could also change this formula a little bit. So we have T equal to 72 by R. We can interchange this too. Okay. So now R equal to 72 by T. I think you learned this in the maths, right? You can always interchange the,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
But wouldn't it go into a minus number?
no, it's just swapping the variables. You could always swap the variables like this.
Okay. Make a weird noise like the game does.
So let's say if you want to now, somebody is not in mute. Okay. So let's use this formula and figure it out. So now if somebody says, hey, give me your 1,000 crore, okay, I will double it in 3 years, or let's say 10 years. Okay. So then what you can do is R equal to 72 by 10 instead of T. Now I place 10. So how much percentage return they are giving you? 7.2%. You understood this? So
Yeah.
basically, instead of T, I took the 10 years because the person who offered me to double the money in 10 years, so 72 by 10, I'm getting the rate of return, 7.2%. So this guy is offering me 7.2% when he's saying that he will double the money in 10 years. But let's say if a guy offered you that I will double your money, 1,000 crore, in 3 years. So now what we should do, R equal to 72 by 3 years. Instead of T, we use 3. So how much it is? 3 2 6 and 3 4s 12. So 24 percentage. So if somebody offered you that, hey, I give me your 1,000 crore, I would double it in 3 years. That means he is offering you 24% return. Okay. Play with your parents. I'm sure many of your parents also doesn't know this rule, but this is very important rule that you should use on daily basis in order to understand if somebody says on this investment you can make 10%, 20%, 40%. then you can calculate how much time it takes to double the amount.
Can you please explain it again? Because I only understand a bit of it. I don't understand like the. I know the T stands for time and the R stands for return. I just don't understand like the equation. Can you just explain it again?
Yeah. So basically the formula is like this: T equal to
What is coming?
72 by R. Okay. In this case, T is time. Okay. R is rate of return.
Okay.
So basically, uh, rate of return is the percentage of return you can make on that amount, whatever it is. So let's take an example of 1,000 crore. Okay, you have 1,000 crore on your savings today in your kiddie bank or wherever you saved your money, and your father came to you and said that, hey, give me that 1,000 crore, I will give you 24% return. Okay, then you can do a simple math using this formula. So you T equal to 72 by the rate of return your father offered you is 24%. So you so the rate of return, uh, oh, somebody is laughing. Okay. So the rate of return is 24, that is equivalent to 3, right? 72 by 24. So it takes 3 years for the money to be doubled. And we could do the same in the reverse, that uh, if somebody comes and offers you saying that I want to double your money in 7 years, for example, 7 years, then you can do is you can interchange R equal to 72. You can do 72 by 7. That's equal to um, how much is 72 by 7? Around 10. So it takes 10 years to um, double the amount if it is 7 years. If somebody of sorry 10%, not 10 years, 10%. So they're offering you 10% return. Is it clear or is it confusing?
Not clear for me.
Okay. The reason,
Why is it like 72? Like, isn't it another number? I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
why is it always 72?
yeah, that's the rule here. So that's the so this is uh, I
That's you.
don't know why it's only 72, but they figured it out by doing using 72 number. So that's a constant. It's not changing. And changing the variables T and R, you could always figure it out how much return you are getting and how much time it takes to double the amount.
Okay.
So I can check why it is only 72, why not 48 or 110. But
Are there any other tricks?
no, this is the this is the only trick to find out, um, because what happens in the financial world is once you start investing, people comes and offers you, hey, if you give me give your money, I will give you 10% return. Then somebody comes and offers you, I'll give you 18% return. And then you can do a simple math and understand, is 10% or 18% return is better. I think percent wise it's easy to figure it out. But when somebody comes and says that, give me the money, I would double your money in 5 years or 3 years or 7 years, then you can find out how much returns you can make out of how much percentage that the guy is offering by saying that he is double the money in 7 years. So this is a formula that is understood by Beam, and he's been using it every time when he's making the investing decisions. So, for example, if you remember, Beam was investing his 50,000 college savings into 12% return. So basically, now when you do 72 by 12, so he is doubling his money every 6 years by investing at a 12% return. So after 6 years, his 50,000 becomes 100,000. Then if he is investing same 12% for next 6 years, how much 100,000 will become? So for example, here Beam is investing 50,000 at a rate of 12%. So instead of R, we are using 12 here. Okay. So 72 by 12 is 6 years. So Beam's 50,000 become 100,000 after 6 years because he invested at the rate of 12%. And if he invest, if he continue investing that money, 100,000 after 6 years for next 6 years, that's total 12 years, then his money becomes 200,000 because it gives another multiple for him after next 6 years. So first 6 years he got one multiple, second 6 years he got second multiple. So 50,000 becomes 100,000, then next time 100,000 becomes 200,000. So this is how compounding in action. You can also understand this is compound in action. But what if Beam invested 50,000 at 24% return? How much it becomes in 6 years?
200,000.
Yes, it becomes 200,000. So first, because 72 divided by 24%, now he's getting 24%. So he's basically doubling his money every 3 years. In 6 years, he gets two doubles. So 50,000 becomes 100,000 in first 3 years. Then after 3 years until 6 years, sixth year, from third year to sixth year, he gets next double. So 50,000 becomes 100,000, and then 100,000 becomes 200,000. So in 6 years, he doubles his sorry he yeah he makes two doubles if he is invested at 24%. What if he invested with 36%? How much he makes in 6 years?
400,000.
Exactly. So basically 36% is by 2, right? So he gets three doubles. 72 divided by 36 is 2. So he is doubling his money every 2 years. In 6 years, you have three doubles. Do you understand, or should I use the whiteboard? I can also.
Yeah, I understand.
Is everybody understood this?
So basically, it depends on how many percent you get back.
Yeah, exactly. And that also defines how quickly you are doubling your money.
So it's doubles.
Yeah. So this is always a driver for Beam when he's making investing decision. He's always looking, okay, how much percentage I'm getting? How quickly I can double my money? So Beam understood the rule 72 early in his life, and he was been using this on daily basis when he's been using when he's making any investing decisions. Whereas Shiv, he never know this rule. He don't know this rule, and he never um, used this. So he never understood this doubling effect and how can he uh, uh, make compounding of his money. So this is one important rule that you should remember in general in investing world. It's called Rule 72. You could also Google and experiment with it, and you could also experiment with your parents. For example, you can ask your savings, whatever 1,000 crore you have in your kiddie bank. You can ask your parents if they can give you 24% return. So basically, if your parents can give you 24% return, if you have 1,000 crore, then you can double that 1,000 to 2,000 in how many years?
3 years.
3 years. Yeah. So that's how you could calculate. If you can negotiate 36% return, then you can double it in 2 years. But yeah,
2 years.
exactly. So this is all comes back to this rule 72 and using it. Or you could also ask other way, hey, can you please take the money and give me double, give me double the amount after 3 years. Basically, you're asking 24% return from your parents when you ask that way. So this is rule 72. Okay. And compounding tool can also be used for health. It's not just knowledge and money. You could also use for health. Basically, you should do some kind of physical activity for your body on daily basis, consistent basis, rather than some some people do it quite a lot of so some people do lot of workout. I mean, like Shiva does a lot of workouts in the weekends, but he doesn't do much on the weekdays. That does not help in the sense compounding would not be effective in that sense. Instead, Beam, he does a daily workouts every day, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or 60 minutes, whatever it is. So compounding tool can also be used for improving health. So one can use this compounding for improving the health. Okay. So so let's look at how we can use compounding for building relations. Do you understand when I say building relations? So
No.
it could be any relation,
No.
right? A relation could be a friendship, or it could be a family relation bonding between the family. So um, Beam and Shiva, let's see how they are using this compounding tool for building the relations. For example, Beam, somebody is not on mute. Guys, please go, come, Yoga Siman, go on mute. Okay. So compounding can be also used for building relations, right? So Beam always connected with friends, his family members, and teachers and mentors. When I say connected, it's a real relation. It's not just oh, I know the teacher, or I know the family member. It's really knowing the friends deep. Um, and that also helped Beam. Remember, he started investing with one of his friend's father, because he built this relation with his friend's father, and he asked all the curious questions, and he also asked his friend's father, can he invest with him? So that's a part of relation building. He is using the relation, and his friend father also offered him to help, because he knows Beam for many years. He saw him around, and he saw Beam playing with his son, and then he knows him very well. So that's Beam using compounding for building relations, building connections in order to reach goals that he is having. Whereas Shiv is a bit he never build a real relations. It's always give or take. So he always thinks, if I talking to this guy, what is the benefit I'm going to get from him, instead of really building uh, unconditional relations. Without some good relations is always unconditional. You don't expect any returns. The bad relations is always tit for tat, or I give this, you give me that. Those relations cannot be sustained in the long run. So Shiva was always in his life building such a give and take, tit for tat relations that never helped him. So basically, he don't have good connections with his school friends, college friends, and even at colleagues at office. Whereas Beam, he always connected with school friends. He talks to them regularly. He also connect with his college friends, and also talks to his teachers and mentors. That's basically building relations for long run. So you could also use compounding tool for building relations, and this is how we see people around, and especially Shiva and Beam using compounding tool for building knowledge, skills, building wealth, um, and building health, and building relations. So fundamental to all those things is compounding. So that's how compounding works in the real life, if you use it. So this slide basically gives you the overview of how you could use the compounding tool in your daily life. So for example, I think we talked about this when we talked in the session 3, compounding knowledge, uh, um, or skills. You could do this just reading 10 pages every book, if you want to read books, or if you want to do if you want to learn something new, music or anything, then you can just do 10 minutes every day. And let's see, you could see yourself in 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, how better you will get at it, the whatever the thing you want to do. It could be reading books, learning new things, etc. So this is compounding in use on your daily basis to build a knowledge. Somebody was asking.
So, uncle,
Yep.
so I got 10 rupees in my hands. If I
Mm.
go to a shop every day and pay 10 rupees, 10 rupees, 10 rupees, 10 rupees for vegetables, and in 30 days I'll get I'll pay 300 to him.
Hmm.
Okay.
So um, I think this tool here is you should use uh, I don't know, maybe you should think of using this compounding tool in your life and see how it would help you. Okay. Yogasiman, you are supposed to join at 10, 11:15, not now. You are disturbing us. Okay, I'll drop you from the meeting. Join at 11:15. Okay. Okay. So you should use these tools in your daily life. I don't know if you want to try this. Did anybody started using this tool, compounding? Okay, not really, I guess.
No.
Okay, just think about it, and if you want to share with your experience, you could try to do something, for 30 days and see how it changes your, knowledge in given area. If it is knowledge or if it is money, you can do the same thing. You could ask your whatever savings you have in your kiddie bank. You could ask your parents to give you some returns, and you could also observe in 6 months how you could compound your money. So I think my suggestion is start using these tools in daily life, so you understand how they are they're effective in one's life if you start using it. Okay. And compounding health would be the same, that start doing some physical activity every day. It cannot be it can be as simple as 20-30 minutes, and try to do the same activity for 30 days. It could be running 3 kilometers, or riding bike for 5 kilometers, or it could be just walking. But make sure you do this continuously 30 days, and you would see the result, how it impacts that in on your health. And one key message is that compounding results, you don't see them quickly, like we saw it in this graph as well as here. The compounding effect comes after some years. So there you have a huge uh, result, payoff in the long term, not in the short term. You don't see the payoffs in 1 month, 1 year, 3 years. You see the payoffs in 5, 10 years, 20 years. So that's how I want to conclude the compounding. And I gave you some practical tools. You could use those tools and share the progress with us here if you want. If you don't want to share, that's also fine. But I just want you to remember this tool and use it in daily basis. Otherwise, it's one of those things that you understood but you never used it. Then you would easily forget after 6 months. So, okay. Any questions on the compounding before we jump into the next topic? Okay, so let's look at the assets and liabilities. Before I jump into assets and liabilities, in this slide deck this week, I gave you some links to the Khan Academy to understand compound interest. And how many of you using Khan Academy?
I
I
use Khan Academy.
Okay, if you go to Khan Academy, I'm just opening it for you. So here you could also understood the same concepts we discussed about compound interest, rule 72. So rule 72, he also explained it very well. So you could also listen and also try to understand the introduction to interest, and why interest rates go up and down. So just try to uh, uh, you know, understand these 5 videos: compound interest, rule 72, introduction to interest, why interest rates goes up and down, by better money habits. Try to see those videos, and you would get a very good understanding of compound interest and rule 72. And in the same Khan Academy, if you look for the courses, you can see personal finance. Can you see it here? So if you click on personal finance, this is where you find them: compound interest, interest basics, etc. Okay, but I also gave the direct link on the in the presentation, so you could use it um, when you want. So this is a little uh, exercise. You can do it or watch if you are curious to understand what is this compounding in more details. Okay, but let's go back to assets and liabilities. Did you heard this word before, asset liabilities, asset and liability?
Yeah, I've heard them, but I
Yeah.
don't know the meaning.
Okay, we in English in general, they say, hey, that's a great asset that you have, but you have this liability, or good habit or bad habit. They use these words interchangingly. I don't know if you saw this. Sometimes your teachers also use this, hey, that's your liability, or it's your.
Isn't liabilities when you have to pay somebody or something like that?
Yes, exactly. So that's
Assets is when somebody has to give you money, that because they ask you for some money and then you gave it, and then they have to give it you the money back that they owe you.
Exactly. That's exactly the meaning of assets and liabilities in a simple term. You're right. So assets is something in layman term, asset something that puts money into your pocket. Okay. Liability is something that takes money from out of your pocket. Okay. So if you remember the first second session, the expenses that we do is the liabilities, right? You know, the things that we pay for rent and maintenance of the car, because we that's something we have to pay from our pocket. But asset is something, you know, if you have a savings or if you invested, like for example, Beam had 50,000 Danish krone from college savings, and he invested into some index fund, and he made 12% return. So basically, Beam getting money from this index fund investment at 12%. So that's money getting into Beam's pocket, whereas that we can call asset. So another example of assets is, you know, if you invest in maybe we can watch this video that gives a better explanation. So let's, I don't know, can you hear?
No, did you
Yeah, I
turn
know.
off the audio?
Can you hear it now?
You're not sharing. You're not even sharing screen.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here, Wall Street Bully. Some time ago, we talked about assets and liabilities when we discussed net worth, but can you discuss it in a little more detail now? Sure, we can. Assets are things that you own and can be sold to get money, and liabilities are things that you owe someone. Can you give me some examples of assets and liabilities? Okay, the house, car, jewelry, and stocks you own are all assets. These are tangible assets. They are physical things that you can touch and hold. There could also be intangible assets like copyrights, trademarks, or patents, which are intellectual property. On the other hand, money borrowed by you, like car loan, student loan, credit card debt, and mortgage, are all liabilities. Remember, if you have bought a house on a mortgage, the house is still your asset, but the remaining mortgage on your house is your liability. Well, do all assets appreciate in value? Not necessarily. Many assets, like a house or stocks, can go up or down in value, whereas others, like a car, usually depreciate in value over time. Well, can something be a liability for one person but an asset for another person? I mean, can one person's liability be another person's asset? That's an excellent question, Super Cooper. Yes, it is certainly possible. For example, if I lend you $10, that loan is a liability for you because that's the money you owe me. But it's an asset for me because it is my money and would come back to me when you repay. Hopefully. That's funny. Anyway, thank you very much for telling me about assets and liabilities, Wall Street. Ready?
I think you got the message. So basically, he was explaining what are the different kinds of assets. If you have a patent, if you invented something, that could be an asset for you if you are making some money out of that,
Yeah.
or it could be an intellectual property. So you you invented something and you want to sell that to somebody, so that could be an asset. House can be an asset. if you don't have any mortgage or loan in the bank. If you have a loan on the house, then it's a liability. Some people, I think many people that you see that they buy houses with a bank loan. So they have 80-90% bank loan, 20% paid by their own money. So 20% of the asset is owned by them, 80% is owned by the bank, because until you pay off the debt, it's not an asset, it's still a liability. And
Okay.
same with cars, right? When you go and buy a car with a loan, you have it's this funny fact, right? When you buy a car, it would be still on the, if you are taking the loan, bank is owning the car until you pay off the full debt or the full loan you took it from them. Until then, bank is owning your car. Of course you would be driving it, but the name on the document, you would see the bank name, because they lend you the money. Until you pay off the full money, you would not be owner of the car. So this is the assets and liabilities. We could look at the
But
yeah,
uncle,
yeah.
but like, what about if like a car insurance? Does that go with the bank's name or does it go with your name? Because you're the person who drove the car, and then if something happens.
Yeah, car insurance is tied to the car number, not to the
Yeah.
bank.
So who will have to pay it? The
Yeah,
driver
yeah.
or the
The
bank?
the driver has to, or the owner has to pay, but the bank also says that you should be responsible for paying the insurance in the contract when we sign. So we have to pay the insurance, but it's tied to the car number, not to the person or bank,
Okay.
because it could be somebody else who would take your car and
Yeah.
drive it that time. It's a car insurance that's paid off if this person who took borrowed car from you met with accident or anything. So
Okay.
okay, so that's where we will conclude this week. Next week we will look at assets, simple statements to understand what is income statement, what is the balance sheet, and we will try to look at Shiva and Beam's balance sheets to understand how they have been using the money they are been earning and how they are investing. Okay, any
Yeah.
further questions before we close?
What are we gonna learn next week?
We would be learning about the, as you can see here, I could not, I still have the slides, so I would cover from these slides. So we would
Okay.
start learning about income statements, balance sheets, and we would look at the cash flows when we
Okay.
say assets. So that's what we would be. And I
Does
would
income mean like the money you get,
yes, exactly, but
and the
then
expenses are the things like basically liabilities?
exactly.
Okay.
So
What is the book?
sorry,
I was just asking, what is the book recommendation for this week?
I don't have any book this week. I want you to watch videos. I think I recommended quite a lot of books so far. So I'm holding off some weeks because I want you to read the first books I recommended so far. But next week I would come with a book recommendation. But this week it would
Okay.
be videos. You just try to watch these videos, which um, and I also recommend you some podcasts in the future, some very good podcasts that you could listen in to understand the different things. So I would also come with some more recommendations on the podcast. By the way, anybody bought the books and reading them?
No, I couldn't find them, and also I didn't go outside, so yeah.
I'm reading a PDF of the compound effect.
Ah, perfect.
Compound effect. I just started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, you don't need to go to buy this, because you could also buy it from Kindle. I guess you all know Kindle, right? Kindle app, Kindle.